Hi everyone, my name is Red. Welcome to my channel. So today is Wednesday. I'm going to do another wake up call Wednesday. What is it that we need to hear right now? And I also did a reading today, and that is about the new moon in Taurus and the themes for four twin flames and how the new moon in Taurus could, affect the twin flames in general for the next couple of weeks. So check that out. And so today we're going to pull a bunch of cards, which I already did, and we're going to go over what the divine wants us to know. What do we need to hear right now for our twin flame journey? So let's get started. Okay. So the first card you got is Bone Collector. Okay, and so this talks about old wounds that you might have. So this could be from childhood. This could be just from your twin flame journey. So any kind of wounds that you might have picked up that has to do with feeling like unworthy or unlovable. So any kind of programming that you may have had where you feel like you lost something on your way, like you just don't feel whole anymore. You don't feel whole on your own. So again, this could be some kind of programming you had as a child. Again, this could be recent. It has to do with your twin flame journey, something where you have felt wounded in some way. And so the Bone Collector is here to tell you is that you are whole, and what you have lost, she has for you right there. And she is asking you to reclaim it. She is asking you to reclaim everything you have lost, everything that has wounded you, anything that is taken away from you. She says she has it right here for you, and she wants you to claim it back, that you are whole, and that all you have to do is heal and know who you really are, and know that all that was just programming, and now you just have to kind of deprogram yourself and reclaim yourself. Reclaim everything that was taken away from you from your wounds. Okay, she has restored it for you. Okay, so she calls herself the Bone Collector. Okay, let me just move this back a little bit. Right, so the other thing she wants you to know is that any kind of wounds that you have had in the past, you can just, when you go, especially if this has to do with your inner child, you must go in and do your inner child work and release those trapped emotions. And the more you release that baggage, the lighter you will become. Okay. And so, yeah, this is all about releasing all those wounds. It's not who you really are. And then once you do that, once you let go of all those wounds, then you know that you are unconditionally loved, and that you are perfect as you are, and that there's nothing else needed. There's nothing more that you need. You are everything. Just reclaim yourself. And then this kind of goes kind of like with that. So Sappho, she's a poetess, I guess they call it. I says, I love every inch of my body, and I love the women in my life fiercely. So this is a woman from Greece that in like the early, I don't even know what century, something like 300 AD. So she was this woman who was all about loving her own body, and her poems were very, very sensuous. And she would talk about, like loving her body and like loving other women's bodies, and just like, knowing that, like never comparing herself to other women. And it was kind of for the times, maybe even today's standards, it was quite, awakening. As a, this is a wake up call. This is a, wake up Wednesdays, and so it felt pretty shocking back then as well. And so they would actually burn her poetry. That, like, the churches would burn everything she wrote. And all she was trying to do is teach women is to really love their own bodies, to feel sensuous about their own bodies, to really be in love with their own bodies, and other women too, and to never, like, to appreciate other women, and to never like be jealous of other women, but to like actually love other women as they are you, or just kind of like a sisterhood. And so she was all about, feel feel like so comfortable in your own skin, and don't be, what's the word, like, don't feel ashamed about your body in any sort of way, no matter what shape or size you are. You are sensual, you are sexy, you are loved. And so she would preach this to all the women during that time. And so she's asking this of you as well. And so it's kind of the same thing. Whereas you feel wounded anyway, and you're feeling like you're not whole, if you're feeling like something, where you could feel maybe not good enough for something, they're asking you to reclaim yourself. And she's asking you to reclaim yourself as well, and to just fall in love with yourself, fall in love with how you look. And then do the same for other women, make them feel beautiful too. Know you're beautiful and make other women feel beautiful too. As we are sisters, we're a sisterhood is what this is saying. All right, another card for Wake Up Call Wednesday. And so this is just something to ponder on. It says, I'm excited about the future because, and if you can't think of anything as to why you're excited about the future, well, now it's time to do something about that. It's time to get busy. It's time to write a bunch of stuff down that you get excited about. I call it my blissipline. I write a bunch of stuff down, and whatever it is, I feel like maybe hobbies or just something that I wanted to learn, and I get myself excited and hyped up about it. Okay, so they're asking you to do that. Okay, the next card you got is Keepers of the Earth. It says you are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you. And you see in the clouds behind her, you can see the angels. So that's beautiful. So many of you have ancient ancestors that are always surrounding you. The reason I'm laughing is that my ancestors are quite loud. Wherever I go, my ancestors let me know that they're like, I'm not alone in this house. My ancestors are surrounding me, and they're very loud, and they even maneuver stuff. Anyway, so what they're saying is that they are always beside you, that you're never alone. So even if you feel alone, oh my gosh, you have like okay, one lady, this I swear to God, this is what she said to me. She looked at me and she goes, "Do you know you have a stadium?" She goes, "Do you have a stadium of guides around you? Like, do you ever see like Shea Stadium? Like that's what it looks like." And I believe it. And you all have the same thing too. It's like you are certain, like no matter where you go, they're all talking to you. They're like trying to be very patient with you because they really want a response, to be honest with you. And you are surrounded by ancestors. You are surrounded by your star family. You're surrounded by your guides. It could be whatever you believe in. Okay. You are never alone ever. And trust me, when you start talking to them, oh boy, will they get louder. Oh, yes, they will. All right, the next card you got is Crystal, and it says, have faith and hope because there is something positive and new on the horizon that you just can't see yet. Yes, I think for many of us, we feel that way. We're like, where is it? And whatever it is, like I don't know, maybe there's like creation that you're working on, and you're like, what the heck? When is this going to happen? Or when is this going to get off the ground? Or if this is about your twin flame, where you're thinking, okay, when am I going to see them again? And so what they're saying is, Crystal's saying, have faith and hope. Don't question it. Have faith and hope. Just know it's on the horizon. You just can't see it. We can. We see that. We see your timeline. We see it happening. So just have faith. We know it's coming. All right, then the next card you got is the Moose. It says, with self reliance and measured patience, adversity will be overcome. So, kind of like what we were just saying, right? So, if you are feeling alone, if you are feeling like, oh, I just want to be like, I just want to date someone because, like, I just feel like this is taking too long and, I just don't want to be alone anymore. Well, the Moose is saying, don't rush into anything. Do not rush into dating someone or into like a project just because you're losing patience, or give up a project or give up on your twin flame just because you're losing patience. They're saying instead, be self-reliant, be more self-reliant, because they're testing you is what they're telling me. They're really testing you because your greatest, how can I put this? Like your greatest achievement is this twin flame journey. It really is, because it is becoming the highest version of yourself. And then when you manifest that in the physical in union, and don't worry, for those of you who never do, which I don't think that's a thing, some people do, but if it's a thing where you never do, I mean, still like you're the best version of yourself. But I still feel like, yeah, once you become the best version of yourself, you will come into twin flame. I feel very strongly about that. I feel that for everyone. Because why would the divine introduce you to someone and then take it away? That's not something the divine would do. That's not the divine I know. Okay. And so the moose is saying, become self-reliant, really work on yourself and have this measured patience. Don't settle for less, and don't settle for less. The divine has something in store for you. And they're saying, don't give up. The divine has the best of the best for you. They're just testing you. They just want to make sure you're ready for it. Okay. Everyone's going through some kind of test, as you can see. If it's not on the twin flame journey, you can see all around you. It's quite evident that everyone's going through a major, transformation in some way. It doesn't have to be in the twin flame journey. So even if you don't do in the twin flame journey, they will make you do it anyway, is what it looks like. Okay. So the next card you got is, Aqua Aura. It says healthy communication and relationships. It says heart to heart discussion and clear, assertive communication help you understand and be understood. So, this is a stone you can use, Aqua Aura, or if you find a picture, it could be on a card, doesn't have to be a real stone. And you have this notion of having this heart to heart discussion with your partner. It could be through spirit. That's what I do. I mean, it doesn't have to be in the physical. It could be through spirit. You're just talking. I even do this with like family members. I have family members that aren't close to me anymore, and so what I'll do is I'll talk to them through spirit, like through like soul to soul, and I know that they're getting the communication. Okay. And so you're having a heart to heart discussion and you're kind of explaining. And again, this could be through like energetically, this could be just talking through your soul, just, saying it out loud, but like talking to your twin flame and just saying, this is how I feel. This is what I'm thinking. And, just like having a heart to heart conversation. Like you don't have to wait till you see them physically. You could do that now and they will get that message in some way. It'll be given to them in some way by their soul because, you share a soul, you share an over soul. And so that message will be given to them. Just have faith in that. Because the more you rise in vibration, the more they raise in vibration, and the more psychic you're getting, and the more psychic they're getting, and the more telepathic you're both getting. Like you're actually starting to read each other's minds. Okay, and that's the fun part. And sometimes they do want to keep you in separation so that you hone in on these gifts, such as telepathy and such as your psychic ability. I know it's not as fun as seeing them in person, but it's still pretty cool when you build up those skills. Okay, and the next card you got is Let Go. It says, as you surrender the need to control, your relaxed energy rapidly attracts your desires. Yeah, so if you notice when you're feeling like very rigid about something and you're like, when is it going to happen? When is it going to happen? You can notice, right? Nothing happens, right? It's the person that's like staring like it's the person that's staring at the calendar or staring at the phone or staring at, oh, when's the phone gonna ring, right? That is like time stands still. Nothing seems to happen when you do that, right? But when you let go and you start living your life and you're relaxed and you're like, oh, I can't wait for tomorrow because I have this plan and this planned and my life is so good. And like life seems to go by a bit quicker and things start to happen and you're just like, oh, I didn't see that coming. Like things start happening because you're so relaxed and you're open, and then the divine starts bringing stuff into you. Okay, the next card you got is you are profoundly clairvoyant. Okay, and so it says, trust what you see in your mind's eye as well as with your physical sight. For your spiritual vision helps you with healing, teaching, and guiding. Yes, so for some of you who are working on your gift of being clairvoyant, working with your third eye, you are seeing things and they're asking you to trust that. Like for instance, sometimes I'll see stuff in my peripheral vision and I kind of question it. I'm like, oh, I think I don't know. And I was told by someone that one of my guides was a tiger. So, it's so funny with my imagination. I pictured like an actual cartoon tiger around me. So one day I was in my bathroom and in my peripheral vision, I quickly turned because I needed to get something, and I see this actual tiger in my, like a real like a real animal tiger in my peripheral vision, and I'm like, what the heck? And then of course it was gone when I looked, and I'm like, oh yeah, they told me I have a tiger as one of my guides. And I'm like, that was an actual tiger though. But anyway, so we're all working on our, third eye and our mind's eye, and that has a lot to do with the pineal gland and decalcifying our pineal gland, and working, and working on our intuition. I do have a video down below where I cleanse the third eye chakra if you're interested, and that will help you with this. A lot of times we'll see things, in meditation or in our dreams. I'm starting to see other timelines in my dreams now. It's pretty wild. I wake up and I'm like, God, what timeline was that? Okay. The next card you got is Sedna. It says infinite supply. You are supplied for today and all of your tomorrows. So in case if some of you are going through a hard time right now, which I know many are, during these times of unrest, and, many of you, might be furloughed, or, many of you might be wondering about your job. And so what they want you to know is that they got you, and they want you to know that you are supplied for today and all of your tomorrows. They're asking you to relax. You are supplied. Okay, you are infinitely supplied by the divine. Okay, the next card you got is hydration. Yep, I have to listen to this one. Dear Archangel Raphael, thank you for motivating and guiding me to drink more water so that my health, energy, and appetite stay at optimal levels throughout each day. I think many of us, we work all day, or, we exercise, and we just don't drink as much water as we should. And what I do is with my water, and I should have taught this during my, because I have a new moon reading. I didn't, talk about it. I think I'll start doing that in my next readings. But what I'll do is I will put water out. I'll put like a, like something like love or prosperity or something on a jar, and I'll fill it up. And then I'll either put it out under the sun or the moon, and, and then I'll drink it. And it's like, I'm sorry, I'll also put a crystal in there. I will usually put a rose quartz, actually. And so that does something to the molecules of the water. So not only the crystal, the love crystal, the rose quartz, but also the writing, the words of love, prosperity, joy, that also changes the molecules of the water. And so that changes the molecules inside of you, because we're, I don't know, what are we, 90% water? Anyway, so, and you can see that online where they talk about, I forget the name of the person that shows you the different molecules under different under different words. So if you use the word hate, like the molecule looks all messed up. If you say love, the molecule is beautiful. And so the words really affect our own, molecules in our body. And so, I don't know. They just asked me to share that. That's what I do. And so, it's supposed to be healing for the body. All right. The next card you got is aloneness. Okay. So what they're saying with this one is, and it kind of goes along with what we're saying with this. Okay. So, some people, they feel when they're alone, some people actually feel lonely. But then there are people who are alone and they don't feel lonely. They feel very much surrounded by love. And so they're asking you to feel like an at-one-ment. I know that's like that atonement. At one-ment, you feel like you're one with everything. You're one with everyone, especially your twin flame. Your twin flame never leaves your side, ever. Your twin flame is always with you energetically. I mean, you got to feel that. You got to feel. You can feel their emotions. You can feel just like like you just know, like you just feel them. You just know that they're with you. And so I remember one time I had this night where I was feeling very anxious and I didn't feel very good, and I was kind of up all night, and I could feel my twin flame with me, like worried about me, like with me that night. And so just know that like you're never alone. There's really no such thing as being alone. Um, and I should say there's a big difference between aloneness or lonely. Okay. And so when you have a different perspective on aloneness, It's actually very beautiful. It's actually feeling very much loving your own company. It's very much, nurturing your own self. It's feeling a sense of fullness, enjoying that time with yourself, and you're feeling at one with everything, like nothing feels separate from you. Okay. So that's what they're saying about aloneness. All right. The next card we got is surrender resentments. And it says, holding on to resentments only poisons you. Try to forgive others for their shortcomings and keep moving forward toward positive situations in your life. Yep. So any resentments that you may have, it does poison you. It does. So any feelings that's inside of you. So as Sadhguru always says, when somebody says something derogatory to you, they can't make you feel a certain way. They don't have that kind of power. Only you have the power to make yourself feel a certain way. And then he always says, "Isn't that true? Hello." And so just know that when others try to make you feel bad, it's really not them. They can't make you feel bad. They don't have the power to do that. They can say things to you, but then the power is in you. And you can choose to either allow yourself to feel good about a situation and positive, or you can allow yourself to feel poisoned, as they put it, in that situation where you're allowing your emotions to be affected by that other person's, whatever actions or words. And so if you're feeling a resentment towards anyone, whether it be from your family, friends, or your twin flame, for yourself, do it for yourself. Release these resentments so that you're not poisoning your own body. Forgiving others, that's going to raise your vibration. There's nothing more that raises your vibration higher than forgiveness, because they actually tested that. There's a machine they used. And when you raise your own vibration, that is when life in general gets really, like, you start attracting a lot higher vibrational things, because everything has a vibrational set point, and so like this candle has a vibrational set point, this stone has a vibrational set point, and then some things, like if you listen to like certain songs, if you listen to certain songs, like that would have kind of a low vibrational set point, and or a movie that you might watch that has a low vibrational set point, and it does affect you. It affects your vibration. Okay, the next card we got is all time can be me time. So it says our days are filled with responsibilities and tasks, and it is common to feel that we don't have enough time for ourselves in our overscheduled lives. You can cultivate me time by establishing mindfulness in your body through a steady awareness of your breath or your posture. This gives you the superpower of making all time your time. No matter what you're doing, if you're able to stay connected to some aspect of your physical experience, you can be present around the clock. That's right, all time is me time, even when you're at work. Just cultivate your me time just by being mindful, giving yourself that breath. That's being super mindful, huh? It's almost like a superpower is right. That is a superpower, to make all time me time. That is a superpower. For people who figure that out, God bless you. That is a superpower. Okay, the next card you got is abysmal. Okay, so if you look at this card, so the way I look at it is, so here's the divine masculine, here's the divine feminine. And the divine feminine is looking at the divine masculine from a very low point of view. From a lower vibrational point of view, looking at her divine masculine. And it's giving a very abysmal view of the divine masculine. And so they're asking you to not view your divine masculine from such a perception. Okay? You need to view your twin flame connection at a higher perspective. Be that eagle in the sky from a bird's eye view. Really look at the twin flame union and really see the truth and what it really is. But when you don't, when you dip down to the third dimension and you're looking at your twin flame union from the third dimension, it's pretty abysmal, isn't it? Well, they don't want you in the third dimension. That's why they make it look so crappy. They don't want you down there. They want you in the fourth and fifth dimension. That's where the divine wants you. That's where all the good stuff is. And so they're going to make the third dimension look as crappy as possible. So as long as you dip down in your own vibration and that you are viewing the twin flame and your divine masculine in that lower vibration, well, that's what you're going to get. That's what you're going to mirror back to you. But again, when you look at it from a bird's eye view and you look down and you see it from a higher perspective, everything changes and things aren't so abysmal anymore. It really is just a perspective. And so that's what they're saying with this card. Okay. The next card you got is Rescuer. It says light attributes. Provide strength and support to others in crisis. Acts out of love with no expectation of reward. So we are in a time now of people in crisis, people who need support. And what they're saying is, not to be a rescuer, of course. That's not what they're saying. They're just saying to provide strength and support and just do it out of love, without any kind of expectation. It doesn't have to be anything in the physical realm. It could just be sending light and love to the collective. And, of course, we are all one. So whatever you give comes back to you anyway. And so, it's almost like a boomerang. Whatever you give out is boomeranged right back to you. And so, yeah, so they're just saying, you providing strength and support to others is probably going to end up providing support and strength to yourself. And it uplifts your vibration as well. So they call this the rescuer. All right, the next card you got is the teacher. It says, study and share your wisdom with one experienced enough to value it. Be realistic. And act learned, wise, and quite mature, and learn the meaning of l'amour. The one for you that teachers pet loves all the learning they can get. If you're well schooled or even self-taught, you'll gain the prize that can't be bought. Yes, so that is the teacher. Okay, so what they're saying is to share your wisdom. So if you're on this journey, chances are you are pretty wise. Chances are there's a lot that you are learning. So so you see this person on this journey, right? They are focused. Look how focused they are on this journey. And they are gaining wisdom with every step. And sorry, that's a car outside. So they're saying, with all this wisdom and learning, and like the divine is like pouring into you, they're asking you to also share your wisdom and experience. Okay, because it is very valuable. It is very valuable wisdom that for years and years and years was not considered valuable or not considered to be valued. And so it's definitely coming to the point where people are really going to start to value this. They're going to have no choice because they are being transformed anyway, whether they like it or not. Okay, the next card you got is Live Like a Goddess or Divine Feminine. Be one with the divine source. Notice signs and synchronicities with numbers, animals, insects, songs. Watch a sunset. Notice a bird in a tree or a butterfly passing you by. So, right, so when you're in the now and you're not like up in your head and you're walking around, you're going to notice a lot of stuff. You're going to notice birds going, like for instance, this morning, I noticed these two birds were like flying, but I really wasn't too focused on it. I was kind of more focused in my head about something. And these birds were acting wild in front of my window and they kept like flying, two of them flying. Finally, one of them crashed in my window and I was just like, what the heck? I mean, I even had my shades. I'm like, oh my God, is it dead? I ran out. I was like, what is going on here? And it was just like these birds were there to give me a message and I wasn't paying attention. And so so the divine's always trying to give you attention. They're always showing you numbers. They're always showing you insects. Oh my God, sometimes you're going to see the same insect over and over and over until you finally look up the meaning of it. Look up like anything to do with animal totems. It's all there. Animals, insects, birds, okay, butterflies. And then, of course, songs. Songs will hit your brain or songs will be on the radio. Just, the divine is always giving you signs and synchronicities. And then you can look it up. Or sometimes it might hit your own brain. You might have your own intuition as to what they're trying to tell you. Okay, the next card you got. Spirit takes care of those who take care of themselves. Be co-creators and trust spirit. Yeah. See, the thing is that when you don't take care of yourself, the divine, it's like they're stuck. It's like they want to help you and they have an idea of how to help you, but for those who don't take care of themselves and they're constantly in perpetual pain, suffering, wounding, the divine now is kind of shut out. It's almost like they put a wall up and it's almost like they can't get to you now. It's like they're spiraling into whatever it is. It could be, emotionally, it could be physically, some kind of dis-ease, and they're co-creating that for themselves. But when you take care of yourself, now the spirit can co-create with you in a much different way, in a high vibrational way. So yeah, so taking care of yourself, then that is how spirit will also take care of you in the same way. Okay, the next card you got is the ego mind is confused because only one mindedness can be without confusion. A separated or divided mind must be confused because it is necessarily uncertain about what it is. It has to be in conflict because it is out of accord with itself. You create fear in yourself due to perceiving yourself as separate. Yes. So this is from a Course in Miracles. I've been reading this book, and so I'm starting to create cards from this book. I love A Course in Miracles. And so what this is saying is that the ego mind is very confused because it's split. And what the truth is that we are all one. We are all sparks of the divine. But the ego mind sees itself as separate. And so it's always confused. So when you go into the ego mind, you don't get a clear answer from your ego mind. You get kind of a confused, like back and forth. Well, I don't know. Is it this or is it that? It's all based on perception. But when you go into your spirit mind or your right mind, your mind of oneness, you're no longer confused. There is no more conflict. You are now in accord with yourself. And you are no longer perceiving yourself. You are just, I am God. Or I am the universe, or I am one, or whatever it is, whatever terms you like to use. And so that's what this is talking about, is that the twin flame journey really talks about, how your ego mind versus your spirit mind can be in some kind of conflict. And as you can see, it really messes with you on the twin flame journey. The twin flame journey goes Ori when you are in your ego mind, and it goes way better when you are in your spirit mind. I call it spirit mind, but I guess more like your intuition is what I should say. All right, the next card you got. It says release trapped emotions to lighten you in vibration. Right. So that's the first thing I said, right, from this card, was like with the bone collector. She's saying, come back and collect everything you've lost. Okay, come back and reclaim everything you've lost. But at the same time, release all that wounding, release that trapped emotions, and lighten your vibration, because we're carrying this heavy burden of what we've picked up since age of 0 to 5, and then beyond, all these things that happen to us. And so I always recommend either my chakra cleansings that will help you to release any trapped emotions, and it's very calming and soothing because it is ASMR. Also, if you look up the emotion code online, I love the emotion code. It's one of my most favorite things. I pretty much do it daily, and I release trapped emotions. And you're doing it for both your divine feminine and your divine masculine, because you are your own divine feminine, divine masculine energy. Okay. Okay. And last card says, heal your inner child as this wounding inside of you will be mirrored by your twin flame. So there's another reason to do it. So it's almost like there's a bit of a message here going on, a bit of a pattern. Heal your inner child as this wounding inside of you will be mirrored. So yes, I always like to tell the story of when I was with my twin flame. So when we were in the physical, when we were together last fall, he mirrored out of me the fact that I wasn't emotionally connected to myself. I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't even know people were emotionally connected to themselves. And so growing up, I was physically abused. I was beaten since the age of 2. And so my mechanism was to, emotionally disconnect. And then after a while, when I was beaten, I didn't feel it anymore. And I would literally check out of my body. But then as I got older, that was never, healed. So my inner child always protected me. And so I never emotionally connected. And I didn't even know that was inside of me until I met my twin flame. Now, did it happen with other relationships? Yes. But did I notice it? No. But this was the first time I noticed it and I said, oh. And so I had to go, and that's how I found the emotion code. And that's why I started also cleansing the chakras, was to heal the inner child of, not being emotionally connected to myself due to inner child wounding. And so, many of us are programmed from, from when we were younger, like things happen to us, right? This is because we're on the twin flame journey. It usually means we had probably a bit of a rougher past than most. And then, so it's good that we are the ones that are the pioneers on this path, because not only are we clearing these wounds for ourselves, but we're clearing it for the collective. So we take on the burden because we're taking on these wounds of the collective, not only in this timeline, but other timelines. And so as we're purging these wounds and these trapped emotions, we are helping the collective as well. That's what we're here, because we're all one, because we're not separate. Anyway, so otherwise, if you don't, it will be mirrored out of you. So for those of you who do get into twin flame union and you have not healed your inner child, just know that's what will happen. They will mirror that out of you. And it's quite, for me, it was numbing, is how it felt for me. I felt quite numb. I didn't know what to make of it, but I numbed out. And that is how I figured it out. And then that was a journey from there for sure. And now I'm like a whole new person. I don't even recognize myself anymore. Anyway, I do hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification button. If you're interested in a reading, it is on discount for $65 through May 30th. And you could just email me at twinflamealchemisttarot@gmail.com. Also, if you're interested, I'm doing a giveaway for 2 free readings. If you want to see what my reading would look like, go ahead on my Sundays. I do a DM and DF weekly update. And so that would be personalized to you. And that's pretty much what it would look like. And I would videotape that for you. And anyway, so if you subscribe, let me know. You can email me, unless you're a YouTuber. I see you if you're a YouTuber. And then I will enter you into the drawing. Okay, so I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow we are going to do fantastic. No, today is Wednesday, so tomorrow is Thursday. So tomorrow we're going to do another DM update. We're going to go deeper into questions from what we did on Sunday. So I'll see you then. Thanks. Bye.